Plants vs. Zombies. If you haven't heard of it, how? PVZ was released on 5th of May 2019, and it was an instant classic. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon to play this latest hit game. I myself have played this game a lot, and it shows in the content. You got a base adventure that introduces new plants with new levels, cool minigames in between worlds, art style so cute and charming that you'll fall in love with it immediately, sound effects to portray almost every little detail in this game, and the music, oh my god, the music! And it had great post-game content with tons of replayability. For example, you've got Vase Breaker, where you have to smash vases to defend yourself from zombies. iZombie, you want to play as the zombies? You sure can. Minigames, which range from gambling, portals, invisible zombies, oh no, and survival endless, which, oh my god. The plants design was amazing at portraying what plants and zombies would do. You got a snorkel zombie that shows in the pool levels, which submerges under the water and dodges all of your plant's attack, so you have to lure it out by placing something in front of it so it emerges and start eating. Or you can instantly kill it with a tangle kill, which drags it to the deepest parts of it. You got a zombie that wields a screen door, which blocks all projectiles from the front. What do? Attack from above. Overall, you could say this game was a game of the year. Popcap made an amazing video game. And then they got acquired by EA. I don't want to get into the mess that is the history of Popcap and EA, because that is not my goal today. And there are also other people who already covered it better than me, and I don't have anything else to add. What is my goal today is in the name of this video. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. When you think of an HD remaster version of an original game, what do you expect? Better quality backgrounds? Updated character design? Maybe some features that got updated and polished? Yeah, they didn't do that. I played this game for more than 20 hours, and I can confidently say that this game is bad. Like, really bad. At best, I could describe it as the original PVZ game, but worse. And at worst, I could describe it as, I want to go directly to Popcap, take all of their computers, throw them into the garbage, and lit it on fire. This game lacks any charm the original had, and anything else that remained is just either shallow its former self, or made worse because of the stupid game design. Last thing I want to mention, first, since this is the first time I ever did a review, I would love to have feedback as to how I handled the topic. Second, this is not a 100% serious review, because I still have a hard time debating with one friend about what brand of socks is the best to wear on Saturday. You know who you are. This is mainly just to poke fun at a bad video game. You can formulate your own opinions. Third, this video contains my opinions, so if you're gonna say in the comments that you like this game, good for you. I'm glad you do. But I don't. Now that I got this early video stuff covered, let's dive together into the same dumpster that I just lit on fire so I can show you why Plants vs. Zombies Replanted fails to be a remaster. Let's start with the new stuff they added and what I liked about this game. Don't worry, there's not much, it'll be quick. First of all, the minigames. In the original game, there were a lot more minigames, but got cut out for one reason or another. Now they added them back under the label of bonus minigames, and I'll briefly mention their gimmicks and how fun they were. Art challenge, walnut and sunflower. You put plants on designated spots to create either walnuts or sunflower. It's basically seeing stars. Sunny day. The sun falls faster and is worth 50 per pickup. Nothing else interesting. You just get more sun. Unsodded. Defend your lawn, but you can place plants only in the middle 3 rows while defending the top and bottom row. This one is one of my favorites, because it makes you actually think harder as to how to defend yourself. Big time. This minigame makes sunflower, marigold, and walnut big and double their stats. Which is a shame that it's only just those 3 plants. You could have gotten other bigger plants, like chompers. Or doomsday. It's also great for farming, because you can spam marigolds and magnet shrooms and get a lot of money this way. Air raid. This minigame consists of mostly balloon zombies that spawn after you set up some production. This one is definitely a lot more interesting to play. Until you buy a cattail, at which point it just renders the minigame basically pointless. High gravity. You play a roof level, while high gravity affects every projectile your plants shoot. Oh, and don't bother using lobbing plants, because even if they are in their range where they should hit the zombies, they won't because code. Gravedigger. You play a night level with graves that sometimes spawn throughout the level. This one just feels like a replay of night levels, and I don't know how to feel about that. Maybe if the graves spawn more often? I don't know. Can you dig it? You have to dig out walnuts while conveyor belt gives you pea shooters. This one is boring, because once you set up 4 rows of pea shooters, you're basically done. You don't have to do anything else. Last we got Dark Stormy Night. You play 4-10 again, but with fog and less plants to plant. After playing all of these new minigames, I think I understand why they got cut out. Half of them are either boring and add nothing else, or they are reused levels with small changes. The only minigames I liked the most was High Gravity, Big Time, and Unsodded, because they were at least creative. The original had portals, mutant zombies, gambling, that, and they were a lot of fun to play. I don't understand how a small studio could have thought of more minigames than a studio in 2025. Next, we got cloudy levels. Now these are definitely more interesting additions. Sunflower and Fallen Sun have their value rotate between 25 and 15. Every so often, rainy clouds appear which stop you from getting sun from the sky, as well as the sunflowers, which take a nice nap. During heavy rain, plants recharge faster and their cost is health. There are 12 cloudy levels divided between 3 worlds, 4 for front yard, 4 for backyard, and 4 for roof. These levels add more variety to this game as you have to think about how to defend yourself from the horde of zombies. I personally like these the most out of the new stuff, which says a lot considering they added the rip mode. Right. We should talk about that. Rest in peace mode. That's definitely something. So viewer, you might be asking, Nick, what's the difference between the new Rest in Peace mode and Adventure mode? I'm glad you asked, my dear viewer. The difference between those two modes are the following. It's a tiny bit harder, and I do mean a tiny bit, aside from 5-5, but I'll get into that later. You have 1 lawnmower per level that is randomly put on one of the 5 to 6 lanes. And you also have 1 life, which means that if a zombie at any point in your playthrough gets to your house, it's game over and you have to start all over from 1-1. Let me repeat that. If you lose, you go all the way back to the start, which does make sense. It's supposed to be a harder version of the base game, until you realize there are 50 levels, basically the same amount from the base game. So if you're not speeding up the game, which you should, means it can take 8 hours to complete. And even if you're speeding it up, this still takes 3 to 4 hours. Why the fuck are you wasting my time? Oh, and there are 2 achievements tied to this mode. First, for actually beating the fucking thing, and second of all, for not using a lawnmower.
No, unacceptable.
So if you're a completionist and you accidentally use a lawnmower, you either have to finish the game and play RIP mode again for another 3 to 4 hours, or die right there and try again. When I read that tutorial for the mode, I almost didn't want to play through it because it seemed like a waste of time. And it is. But I can't dislike something that I haven't experienced to the fullest, so I played through this fucking thing. A side thing that I want to add, which made me almost throw out my Steam Deck into the fucking trash bin, level 5-5. Oh my god. I don't know if this was just me or Orange just hated me that day, but I almost lost my run because of sudden difficulty spike in this level. You know this level by now. Bungees dropping off zombies like they're storks dropping off ugly newborn babies while your chompers eat their DoorDash order and sometimes do. But this level, oh my god, this level. At first, it wasn't that bad. Same as the original 5-5. Until the game started bombarding me with tons of zombies that the choppers did not have time to devour and no cherry bombs in sight. I had 4+ rows of chompers plus pumpkins for each, ready to eat anything that comes close with 3 cherry bombs prepared for the worst. And by the time the final flag almost showed up, zombies almost chewed through my defenses, leaving me with 4 to 6 chompers and no cherries. What the fuck has happened? This part almost gave me a heart attack because I didn't want to go through this level again. I was constantly thinking, I'm gonna have to replay this fucking mode again. Are you kidding me? Please, no! Thankfully, I didn't lose the run, nor did I use my lawnmower. I have no idea how I managed to do that, but I'm glad that I didn't. Because if I did, I would have to start over again just for this achievement. Do they hate completion? 5-5 left me so paranoid that after speeding through most of the game, I played slowly just so I didn't have to repeat that massacre. But that's enough about the new mode. I said my piece. I don't want to play this shit again. Let's talk about something else, shall we? The art style of the original game was fantastic, which I already talked about. Lead artist for the original game, Rich Warner, made almost every concept for the characters, so you would expect for the remake to have improved graphics, right? Wrong! One of the worst things about this game are the graphics. Backgrounds look, like, they're passable, but they have a lot of things that bug me. Let me show you some of them that I found. Why do lawnmowers go through the buildings at the start of the level? They could have just been already prepared. The puddles look like they're made of plastic. The railing has no shadow when in the original they had. This crack looks like shit. Gravestone look like they're floating in the air, which I know they were doing in the original too, but they could have fixed it. What is happening with this bush's outline? The line art is so inconsistent with everything. These rocks and grass stand out so much from the background. This power pole looks like it's about to fall on the ground. Did the zombies shoot through it? How did the zombies get on the roof? In the original game, there was a ladder that they used. Did zombies drop them off like the battle bus? And that's just few. But we could be here forever. So let's talk about the plants and the zombies. The game has been in spotlight for a while now because people found out that Popcap used generative AI to upscale the graphics. Okay, now look, I don't like AI. Not every aspect of it, mind you, but I do hate the way that it's been used for years now. But using generative AI to upscale handmade graphics from 2009 that could have been drawn by Popcat's big team and even bigger budget? That's just pathetic. Not only that, but the upscaling looks shit. Look at Pea Shooter, Sunflower, Repeater, Starfruit, and especially Potato Mine.
Look how they massacred my boy.
I don't even know what to say. He has almost no outlines. And all plants and zombies have just so many visual bugs. Okay, hold on. No, we're not gonna talk about bugs yet. Because before I do that, I need to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is almost the same as in the original, which makes sense since this is a remaster. However, there is one change that irritates me more than anything, and it's the lawn itself. In the original game, I'm starting to get sick of that fucking phrase, the lawn took almost all of the screen when you started a level, which was all you really needed, and the only time you saw anything else was before the level even started and when you were picking plants. PVZ Replanted has a pretty small playing area compared to the original, probably to compensate for the backgrounds. For me, this makes the game feel like I'm playing far away from the action. They could have absolutely shown more background, but not at this scale. This also hurts the plants and zombies, because now they're a lot smaller, which makes the egregious upscaling look even worse. I should also mention a lot of gameplay stuff that could and should have been changed. If you want to pick up a shovel, you can't click and hold it and release it above a plant. You have to click, release, move your mouse, then click again. This makes the game even more annoying to control, because most of the people grabbed the shovel and then released it. We're not playing some click and point adventure. Well, I guess we are, but not in that sense. Bodies of zombies disappear almost immediately upon impact. They should have definitely lasted longer. And there are even more things that are annoying about the gameplay, but I would be here forever. So I'll spare myself the headache and move on to the next point. Ooh, now we get into something that I absolutely hate about this game more than anything else. Laura Shigihara was the original composer for Plants vs. Zombies. The creativity that she put into the Plants vs. Zombies music is off the world, and all of the songs are a total jam and are always nice to re-listen at 3 AM when you can't fall asleep. That's right, I know you're watching this video at 3 AM. Go to sleep. Unfortunately, she was also not part of the team for the remake. I see a pattern here. The biggest problem with the music in PVZ Replanted is that there's basically no build-up. In the original, after you picked your plants and started a level, music starts nice and slow with not many instruments playing, so it doesn't overwhelm the player with constant noise. When a wave shows up, music gets more serious and more militaristic, with drums increasing on intensity, until the wave is dealt with, at which point the music goes back to being calm. All of that is gone and replanted, and you always hear the Waves version of the world's theme because of what I believe is to be a bug. Because I refuse to believe they messed up such a big staple of the original music design. Now, before I mention the next part of the video, I want to quickly mention the sound effects. Or lack of. Same as with the music, in the original, almost everything had a distinct sound effect. Plants making a sound, impact, projectile on the zombie's head, explosions being... But now, a lot of these sound effects and visuals are not displayed properly because of... This game has so many visual and audio bugs, and I'll show you all of the ones that I could find while recording. Bear in mind, that is not all of them. I found even more while I was making the script and editing this video. Let's go through the ones that I found. Pea shooters and other attacking plants sometimes don't make a sound while shooting. Projectiles not playing the correct amount of hit sounds. Animations are bugged and stop playing properly after shooting. Animations of exploding plants are just bad. Zombies clip through floor when emerging from the floor. Zombies clip through each other. Water clips through other zombies' armor. When football zombies hypnotized, dust behind them is not mirrored. Pole vaulter and dolphin rider doing that. Shovel and stuff in Zen Garden not having a correct grab zone. Picking up multiple suns or coins doesn't play correct amount of sound effects. Sound effects are missing when you're in the shop. Crazy Dave is silent even though his ramblings are still making me to skip his yapping session. Oh my god, shut up! Jalapeno displaying 2 fire effects after each one. Only on Switch version from what I saw. Starfruit's killing is incredibly fast when zombies start to eating it. What the fuck? Disco Zombies taking forever to move when you're speeding up the game. And so many more bugs! Hello, Edenic here. This video is taking fucking forever, and while I was chipping away at it, Popcap has released like 4 updates to fix a lot of the bugs that came with the launch. My opinions on this game has shifted a bit because of the patches, and while I am glad that the game is being fixed, it definitely should have been like that from the start with the price tag of $20. And even then, the game should cost like around $10, maybe $15. $20 seems too much for what you're getting with this remaster. If you really want to get this game, get it after it goes on sale. Alright, that's everything from me. Let's continue with the video. It was really hard for me to finish this game, let alone 100%ing it. Speaking of which, it's probably a good time to finish this video. This video took me longer than I was expecting, and I needed to wrap this up. Otherwise, I would not finish it before my deadline. In summary, don't buy this game. Just don't. Get the original Plants vs. Zombies Game of the Year edition. It's cheaper, you get more stuff for less money, and has overall more quality put into it than PVZ replanted. Oh, and don't even get me started on the versus mode!